Windsor Castle, once the symbol of British royalty and heritage, now echoes with Ramadan prayer. Windsor Castle, a royal residence of Queen Elizabeth, is now a new Islamic prayer room, a striking image of a nation in flux. This isn't just cultural change, it's a political and institutional earthquake. Prime Minister Starmer breaking new ground with a historic iftar at the House of Commons, denouncing the far right and also praising British Muslims, and speaking of unity.
I absolutely wanted to be here for today, for this event, and to have the first of these events here in Westminster Hall is really, really fantastic. I want to start by thanking the speakers of both houses, also to the APPG, of course, on British Muslims for organising it. It's fantastic to be able to get so many people here together in such a symbolic way, in such a symbolic place. So it is absolutely fantastic to be with you as people gather in homes, in mosques, and communities around the country during this special season.
But let's be clear, this is not about unity. This is about a shift in power, a shift in influence, a shift in identity. Transforming UK into a new Islamic state. Look around. London, Birmingham, Manchester. The sights and sounds of Britain's past are fading, replaced by an undeniable Islamic presence. Over 1,800 mosques now stand across England. More than 80 Sharia courts and 50 Sharia councils operate within the country. The Muslim population was 3.9 million in 2021, and by 2030, it's expected to reach 8.2%, a staggering doubling in just 2 decades. This isn't just demographic change. It's a cultural and political revolution happening in real time. And yet, those in power remain silent. But while this transformation happens at home, where is Keir Starmer's focus? Ukraine, foreign aid, military involvement. He talks about Russia. He pledges billions for a war thousands of miles away. But he ignores the rise of Sharia law, the growing Islamic influence, and the rapid changes happening right on British soil. Is he blindly leading the UK into World War III while overlooking the real crisis at home?
So we agreed some important steps today. First, we will keep the military aid flowing and keep increasing the economic pressure on Russia to strengthen Ukraine now. Second, we agreed that any lasting peace must ensure Ukraine's sovereignty and security, and Ukraine must be at the table. Third, in the event of a peace deal, we will keep boosting Ukraine's own defensive capabilities.
And while Starmer looks away, the UK's political leadership is undergoing a radical shift. More Muslim politicians are in power than ever before. In 2024, Naz Shah took her oath as a member of parliament, swearing on the Quran, not the Bible, and she is not alone. Several key city leaders are now Muslim. London Mayor Sadiq Khan, Leeds Lord Mayor Abigail Marshall Khatun, Blackburn Mayor Parwaiz Akhtar, Oxford Lord Mayor Lubna Arshad, Luton Mayor Tamina Salim, Oldham Mayor Zahid Chauhan, Rochdale Mayor Shakil Ahmed. Policies are changing. Islamic holidays gaining official recognition, Sharia-compliant financial services expanding, and multicultural initiatives being funded at unprecedented levels. And with this shift in leadership comes a shift in priorities. A significant percentage of Muslims in the UK rely on state support, free housing, welfare benefits, and government assistance. Many families, often with 3, 5, or even 8 children, receive taxpayer-funded accommodations. The burden on Britain's welfare system is mounting, yet very few politicians dare to ask the tough questions.
Marriage between first cousins carries significant health issues, many of which aren't even knowable until post-birth. When practiced generation after generation, there is a significant multiplier effect. Will the Prime Minister think again before instructing his whips to block this legislation?
Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, we've taken our position on that bill. Thank you.
But in today's Britain, merely questioning this reality is branded as hate speech. Reports of rising crime linked to Muslim communities surface time and again, yet they rarely lead to meaningful action. But this is just the beginning. The ripple effects of Islamization run deep and far-reaching. The financial burden on the UK's welfare system is growing as state benefits fund housing, healthcare, and support for a rising number of non-working Muslim families. How sustainable is this? Schools are under pressure to introduce more Islamic-friendly policies, from from halal meals to gender-segregated spaces. Why is British education being reshaped to fit Islamic values? Over 80 Sharia courts operate in the UK. Do these undermine British common law? And should religious arbitration have a place in a democratic nation? Christian church attendance is declining while mosques multiply. In some areas, the call to prayer is a daily reality. What does this mean for the UK's religious future? Reports of grooming gangs, honor-based violence, and rising crime spark public concern. Protests against mass immigration and Islamization are growing. Is the government addressing these issues or silencing critics? The United Kingdom stands at a crossroads. This is more than diversity. This is more than tolerance. This is a fundamental shift in Britain's identity. While the government focuses on foreign conflicts like Ukraine, the fundamental question remains, is Britain losing control of its own future?